Families and relationships have been torn apart over loyalties to FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer. To outsiders who are not fans of the beautiful game, the two all seem indistinguishable from each other. While FIFA, backed by big hitters EA, have been able to land all sponsor and licensing deals, Konami prides itself on the gameplay of their pairs' games. Anyway, their die-hard fans swear that FIFA is nothing more than an arcade game tailored for toddlers, to which EA HQ reply by pissing themselves laughing all the way to the bank. With the latest releases for the calendar year, competition has been hotting up and the race promises to be close. And this got us thinking, what other games have gone head to head? Is our list of the fiercest gaming franchise rivalries. RTS games are highly addictive, and fans of the genre usually tend to align themselves with one game to which they sink countless hours into. One of the oldest and most revered franchises is Command & Conquer, with the cream of the crop being Red Alert 2. Masters of playing out the freedom-loving Yanks against the Red Commie Russians theme, Westwood Studios have treated fans to 12 games and expansions before its buyout to EA, who went on to release a further 10. Its biggest and closest rival has been the hugely popular Starcraft series, and the two have been wrestling for the top place since time began. Starcraft, released in 1998, was a well-respected game, but it wasn't until 2010, with Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty, it received the worldwide recognition it has today. Now Starcraft 2 tournaments have prize pools worth $250,000, attracting professional teams and gaming organisations. And while Command & Conquer games have been evidently lacklustre in recent years and are finding it harder to find willing developers, the battle between these may have just been resurrected sooner rather than later.
Street Fighter vs Mortal Kombat. These two giants have been at each other's throats for over 2 decades, and their rivalry is one of the most hotly contested in gaming history. If you went into a video arcade in the 1990s, chances are that Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat would have been there with scores of people waiting in line to have a crack at the high scores. Street Fighter is one of Capcom's most prized creations, and for many years it was king of the fighting genre. That is until a bunch of Americans at Midway Games thought it'd be rad to have a go at making something similar. What followed was a war that still rages on today. Street Fighter has always been praised for its quick and responsive gameplay, urging the player to learn every single special move and master the arts of lightning quick and methodical button mashing. Mortal Kombat, well, they've been more concerned with wowing you with over-the-top gory fatalities. In truth, there's very little to separate the two. Both have similar sized and styled rosters, both present their games in the same way, both have iconic catchphrases,
Get over here!
Both lack any sort of engaging or cohesive storyline, and both are really fun. So whether you're with Ryu or Scorpion, chill the fuck out and just be thankful that Kazuya Mishima isn't here. Sorry pal, 2's a company, 3's a crowd.
America versus Japan, Microsoft versus Sony, Xbox versus PlayStation, Forza versus Gran Turismo, apples versus oranges. And that's just it. At the very core, two are very much the same game. Both games are focused on creating a real driving experience, requiring extreme concentration and willpower from players to cut down every single second and get the quickest lap time. Both games reward you with credits which you slowly gain from career mode, unlocking better, faster and prettier machines along the way. While Gran Turismo usually goes out of its way to bring you every single car model that was ever thought of, let alone created, Forza has brought you the celeb factor with its Top Gear partnership deals.
Welcome to London, one of the greatest cities on earth.
But whatever little add-ons they have really don't justify PlayStation fanboys converting to an Xbox, or the other way around, for the sake of the game. And it's the platform division that makes this rivalry fiercer than the others, though ultimately quite pointless. League of Legends versus Dota. The commercial popularity of MOBAs have recently skyrocketed, with Dota 2 and League of Legends leading the charge for big money-making esports tournaments. Part of the allure of these games is their simplicity in design, yet complexity of gameplay, and thousands swarm to watch pro gamers battle it out in cagey matches with big stakes. League of Legends, on the other hand, came much later and took the format Dota had, but adding a bunch of other stuff like runes and a much larger hero list. Dota 2 had a long and steady supply of very loyal fans, but League of Legends has simply exploded, and as of this year they have 27 million active users every single day. In fact, Dota 2 rakes in Valve a sum of about 12 million a month, League of Legends make that amount in roughly 5 days. Some believe this is because Dota 2 is so much harder to grasp than League of Legends, and so only the really hardcore MOBA players stick with it, which would make sense since the highest prizeable tournaments are all Dota 2. Whatever the case, these two and their fans continue arguing and fighting over who is the better MOBA.
Tomb Raider vs Uncharted. Back in 1996, Lara Croft came along and kicked some serious ass, empowering female gamers around the globe and becoming the most recognized female character in the world. Jumping, swimming and hanging off ledges whilst maneuvering through intricate and complex environments were just some of the reasons why the original Tomb Raider became an instant hit on the PlayStation, helping it to sell more than 100 million copies. An equally sexy pretender, with great hair and a masculine jawline, fabulous skin and... oh shit, got a little lost there. That pretender is Nathan Drake. Taking advantage of the little hiatus Tomb Raider was going through, Uncharted more than quenched the public's thirst for compelling adventure puzzle games, continually bringing us some stunningly beautiful installments with gripping story. And with Tomb Raider's recent re-emergence, the two are set to go head to head in the coming months, with Rise of the Tomb Raider set for release on the 10th of November, and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End scheduled for sometime in March 2016.
Grand Theft Auto versus everybody else. Grand Theft Auto has been around for a long time, and they've brought us some of the greatest and most controversial titles in video game history. Throughout their long and dominating tenure, they've had a plethora of rivals, who in truth are nothing more than poor imitations. We've decided to narrow these unworthy competitors down to a select few. Let's begin with Godfather 1 and 2, both good games in their own right, doing a decent job at depicting the mob world of the movies, but ultimately coming nowhere near the level we've been used to with GTA games. Next is Mafia and Scarface, which also go down the route of depicting gangster culture. Lastly, we have probably the only real challenger out of the lot, Saints Row. Knowing they could never compete with the atmosphere and quality of a Rockstar game, Saints Row went down the route of extreme lunacy, bringing us what seems to be a GTA game on acid, magic mushrooms, LSD and Viagra pills all at the same time. At the moment, GTA stands as top dog, and anyone who tries to come close has simply been pushed aside and unthought of. But let's see how long GTA's reign will last. After all, what else can we get away with? And really, is there anything else that we can add to this new punch to spice it up a bit? And that's it for this one, guys. Do you think we've left anything out? Do you agree with our list? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe if you like this video, and we'll be bringing you more similar ones soon.